Hey, good afternoon, everybody. How's it going? All right, so I have 3 poems I'd like to squeeze in my time frame, so bear with me a little bit. I hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoon. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here, so I really appreciate you. All right, so the first poem I have is, it's a poem a little bit that kind of centers around mental health for me. So just a content warning for that. It is titled, "You Asked How I Was Doing and I Didn't Trust Myself to Tell You What I'm Going Through." Contemporary escape, a professional habit, to dodge desire's cannon, relishing a slight of death, its gaze, alongside oblique encounters, gathers images, fragmented details drifting. With a free-floating trickster's unkillable fascination, extended internal, conceiving uncivil sensibility attuned in analysis, impinged impression of self, with knowledge eternal yet fleeting. Photographs delineate superstitions from affinity, from a rapture dreaming, training years through critical prose, influence, sometimes meaning attraction through smartphone impulse, repertoire of a writer, constraint branded like talisman, enacting objection, engine of the education donning a mirror, or shard of glass, relishing slight of death, dodging desire's cannon, contemporary escape, a professional habit. Thank you. All right, so my name is Durane. It is after the 80s group Duran Duran. Does anybody know who Duran Duran is? All right, so for all the people who just showed their age, you may know that Duran Duran was pretty popular in the 80s, right? Correct? And I have a poem. I've grown up very many times having to make the reference to Duran Duran. So in this poem, there are many of their titles, some of the things you may know, some of their favorite songs from the group. And the title of this poem is called Durane, with a preference to references of Duran Duran. Planet Earth. Is there something I should know? Hungry like the wolf, my name rings bells often I don't hear. Memories I don't recall. A full moon on Monday for show to behold of my name is all too familiar. Mama looked in a name book, the year 1989, never stopped on a moniker that stood alone like monument to foreshadow my influence, so her muse became music. What happens tomorrow I may never conjure. Sometimes the violence of summer feels like Mother's nature burning the ground around me, so I choose to do it my own way. Shadow on my side, all I need now is to come undone in this ordinary world with these ordinary girls on film that don't fool me anymore. Assure me no malice. For my view to kill perception, to be theme song to your childhood or end credits of your prejudice. Often I refer to them when introductions are made, not knowing their impact unless they color emotions on your face, like Duran Duran. Then pause. For memories I can't have but can feel. Lonely I stand in your nightmare. My name rings bells. Duran. Thank you. All right, so this last poem is an opposite poem. It's one of my favorite poems, and I did it during National Poetry Month in honor of a poem by Olivia Gatwood. And The poem she wrote was The Only Thing I Gave to America, and my opposite poem is titled The Only Thing I Brought from America. So the only thing I brought from America were 4 summers and a $10 overdue library card from books about local politics. My mother drives me to the bus stop each day until she had to sell her car for money to ease friction standoff with the landlord over a slip and fall and back pay rent. Giovanni is excited that I am American and rich in style. These 2 details connect everything for him. Giovanni has never been made to question the church of TikTok, in which he learned that along with an old American nemesis, Giovanni hasn't earned a new American name. A rival's mom, urban queen, and a vintage American neighbor who will teach him English swear words in the basement. And fortunately for Giovanni, we have a basement. We don't live in the Sunset Motel where I donate clothes that no longer fit me well. Boys don't cry, the girl says to Giovanni as he scoffs, except for Durane. But Durane is American. Giovanni slowly acknowledges my eyes, and I am not his protector ready to heal wounds cast in America before he can whisper the N-word into the wind. But still, he places it into my hand and glides back to the shifty-eyed, curly-haired girls in the corner of the yard with their pinky fingers nestled in the bedazzled promise of their unkempt bodies. When Giovanni tells the teacher that I'm ignoring him in the locker room, I bust to Cambridge Side Galleria and steal a silver box cutting knife from the army store. Have my hair braided into cornrows and polish my elbows with mother's Vaseline. Giovanni says I can't sit with him at lunch as long as I am a crybaby. I tell him it's not a phase in the way that the motel was not a phase. The car and the arguing and the stress, not a phase. But the thing about pretending to feel alive is that you can't mold the language of love. Lie about the frustrations, the violations, your childhood traumas, the way she calls him only by his first name. And I know no matter how many times I hear of Craig, my mom's new boyfriend, I can't swallow my words if things are true. And when I undress at night, like Giovanni, who beams whilst eating peanut butter banana sandwiches, I realize I haven't cried in 3 weeks. Instead, I take a bite out of my Italian sub and credit my mom for buying it while the asphalt dulls and the girls bundle up at the end of the yard. Giovanni motions like I am not lucky for feeling emotion. But because our teacher is the coolest guy in school and cries too, he asks if I can teach him to cry. And I tell him I don't know the rules. Americans don't talk about emotion, I say. I just know how to cry and laugh. And I know this isn't the right answer because he repeats it under his breath. Americans don't talk about emotion. Americans don't talk about emotion. I don't cry because my best friend is American. Better than you. Better than your stupid life. Thank you.